So I'm going to do this video as a makeup for all the notes if you missed elimination. This goes along with the notes packet. If you missed any of the days, I know some of you have been sick. So you are going to become the eliminator. There he is. So elimination, what does that mean to you? Eliminate means remove. And so what you want to do is think about what would get rid of something if you added them together. So -3 plus 3, -7 plus 7, etc. Right? Same is true for x's. So you want the numbers to be the same coefficient, opposite sign. That's our goal. Okay, so for instance, right here, if we look at these two equations, these have the same coefficient, opposite sign. So you can add these equations together. You get 0, which I just cross out. 10y equals -10. And then you can solve. It's a really simple little equation to solve. Y equals -1. So you have half of your answer got crazy on me, sorry. Then to get the other half of your answer, you take and put that -1 in, back in for y. So the second step is just like substitution. So 4x plus 8 times -1 equals 20. I plugged it in for y right there. I could plug it in for y right there too. So 4x minus 8 equals 20. So we add 8 to both sides. 4x equals 28. X equals 7. So my solution would be 7, -1. It's just another way to solve. When we look at this one, we can add them together. It looks like if we add them together, that's going to be eliminated. So let's go ahead and do that. 3x equals 30. Divide by 3, x equals 10. Half my solution. Plug in 10 for x. So 10 minus y equals 11. -y equals 1. Y would be -1. Pause it, do it. Those are going to go away when you add them. So you're going to get 9y equals -9. Y equals -1. We're going to plug it in. So the last step is always substitution. Then you solve the equation. We get to the next kind is if you add them, then nothing would cancel. So what we wish would happen is we wish that would be a +6. So we can control that because we are the eliminator. We can multiply this equation by -1. So you rewrite the first equation, and you rewrite the second one, multiplying each term by -1. So now these are eliminated. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So again, I have half my answer. I can take it and plug it into either equation. I'm going to plug it into the second one. I just rewrote the second equation, putting in 6 for y. And then it's a two-step solve. Sorry about the writing. So negative 6x equals negative 30. X equals 5. Same kind of problem here. Pause it, see if you get the answer, but I'll show you how to get to the answer. You're going to multiply this one of the equations by negative 1. Having trouble with my pen. So I rewrite the first. And then multiply the second. Sorry, it's an x. By negative 1. Different pen. The pen's giving up on me. Even digital pens evidently run out of ink. So 11x equals negative 11. X equals negative 1. Plug it in for either equation. I'm going to plug it in the top. 8 times negative 1 plus y equals negative 16. So last step is not any different than substitution was. Okay, so this one is a little bit more difficult. Nothing would be eliminated, but I want to make this first negative 3 into a positive 9. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by negative 3 and rewrite the bottom equation. So now, when I add these, the 9s are going to go away. So y equals negative 4. Plug in negative 4 and solve, and you get negative 4. Again, same thing here. I can multiply the top equation by negative 3. By doing that, now my y is going to be eliminated. So x is 2. Plug in 2 where that red 2 is. I plugged it in the second equation, and I get my answer. Over on the right, if you look, the 14, if I multiply 7 by 2, I get 14. So I multiply that out. X equals 4. Put it back in for x. Get good at doing those two-step equations again. Pause the video if you need to. Make sure you get everything in there. Okay, so these are a little different. These are the most difficult ones because the one number doesn't go into the other. So what I have to do is multiply both equations by something. And the easiest way to do that is to multiply the top equation by the bottom equation's coefficient. I want to get rid of the 72. I know 9 times 8, 8 times 9. Multiply down, multiply up. I could multiply one equation by 4 and the other one by negative 7. That would work too. But I picked the opposite sign so I don't have to use any negatives. Once you eliminate the first time, the second step is just substitution again. So down here on number 11, I'm going to multiply the top by 9 and the bottom by 4 because I want those signs opposite. I can multiply the top by -3 and the bottom by 5 as well. So I'm eliminating the x by multiplying that. Now, some people do elimination twice instead of substitution. That works too. This one, y equals 0, which is nice because plugging in 0 is awesome. Okay, so there are 4 putting it all together questions. Just pick 2 of them to do. And check your answers. I'll work the one out that doesn't have the answer. So right here, I'm going to just be able to add these. So x equals -1. I'm going to plug that in for, let's do the second equation. 7 times -1 plus y equals -11. Y equals -4. The other ones you should be able to pause and do the problem. For this one, you can add them together. For number 3, I'm going to have to multiply something by -1, either the top or the bottom, so that the 10s go away. And this one, I'm going to need to multiply one of the top or bottom by -1, so the 5s go away. Again, you might need to pause, check, fill them in. Okay, so this top equation here, I need to multiply by 7, so the 7s go away. You should get 1, 4. I'm going to zoom ahead to a couple. There's the pick ones. Okay, so look at the equation. What could you multiply one of them by to make an elimination problem? I'm not going to do the whole problem. I'm just going to show you what you multiply by. I can multiply this by -3. So I would get 9x minus 21y equals 48. And then I just rewrite the second. And that allows me to eliminate the x's. For this one, I would probably multiply the top equation by -3. So the 3's go away. In this one, I would multiply the bottom equation by 2. This is the advanced part. This would be on our third day or our second day in the one class. So in this one, there's nothing I can multiply the equation by, make it work with one step. So what I have to do is something called multiply up, multiply down. But I realize that right here that I have opposite signs. So if I multiply this equation by 9 and this equation by 8, then I end up with being able to eliminate y. And if you're not good at multiplying, you're gonna want to use your calculator here. So I have negative 95x, the y's cancel out, equals negative 95. So x equals 1. Once you get to here, then our second step isn't any different. Okay, let's look at this one. On this one, I'm going to look at the opposite signs. I'm going to multiply the top equation by 9 and the bottom equation by 4. So that when I write it out, I eliminate y. If you like elimination, you could do it a second time and multiply the top equation by negative 3 and the bottom equation by 5, and you eliminate the x's and you'd have your y. So negative 15x minus 12y equals 90. 15x minus 45y equals negative 90. You get negative 57y equals 0, so y equals 0. So you can actually solve the whole thing using elimination. That's it for your makeup notes.